Datagram shoot the shit. I was considering, and in fact, I might still do this. I could take this entire show downstairs and get a beer while hanging out and having this conversation.
Hey,
Because
if that's
I
what you want to do,
suspect,
as
I
long as it's not.
suspect that perfect. I mean, the studio. No, because I'm getting ready to. I'm flying out to Vietnam really early tomorrow morning. So I'm actually in Bangkok, at a hotel, literally just doing nothing. And I might go downstairs and grab a drink. And there's a steakhouse downstairs that has a variety of beverages.
Yo, I
So
think you should. As long as it's not too
you know,
distracting.
no, no, no. I mean, of all of the AMAs that I do, I feel like this is the one that people would be coolest with me having a beer while hanging out and talking.
Oh, absolutely.
Like of all of the different, I know you guys are. I know you are. I will be horrendously disappointed if I don't hear like the snap sizzle. No,
That's like
no,
a
no.
midnight, yeah.
It's no, it's definitely not that, but at the same time, I the person that thinks that a morning beer while on vacation is unacceptable is a person that I don't want to hang out with. Preci- Precisely, precisely. Now I'll stay here. It's probably pretty noisy down there. I don't want to be like that guy on my phone, like screaming into a headset in a steak restaurant. Like the only thing that would be worse is if I had my phone and a ring light set up so that I could just be like max obnoxious. Yeah, no, they're terrible. Yeah, no, it's terrible. It's terrible. I just bought a new little tripod to do this, streaming stuff while because again, I'm doing like two community AMAs on YouTube and stuff a day. And yeah, the thing has a built-in ring light and I hate it. I hate it so much.
Oh, you could easily do like a travel vlog too.
I could. And maybe that's
That's
what
a
I'll do
pain in
later.
the
Maybe
ass.
I'll go downstairs after the respectable people leave the restaurant and so it's only like sort of the degens and horrible night creatures. And then do a travel vlog then. I will be in Vietnam for 3 days, then I'm back here in Thailand for 2 days, then I'm to Seoul for 2 days or something, and then to Hong Kong for 2 days, and then to Ho Chi Minh City for 2 or 3 days for conviction, um, Vietnam, and then back here again, and then later in the month, I think I have to go to Bali. I have to go to Singapore. I fucking hate traveling so much. I cannot tell you how much I hate it. I love meeting the people. I love yeah, dude, it's terrible because people are like, "Oh, you travel all the time. It must be so much fun." No, wrong. Like I see
Like
the
fun at
inside of
first.
hotels, and honestly, hotels around the world are if you're in anything that's above like a 2.5 star, um, hotels around the world are all the same. Like they're exactly the same. Like you could be this hotel room I'm in right now, you could be in New York and it would look the same. You could be in Chicago and it would look the same. You could be in London and it would look the same, except it'd have really stupid switches and plugs on the walls. And the water system would somehow be totally fucked up with different faucets that I don't understand. And then Germany could be the same, except it'd have that weird shelf in the toilet. But these are other than those weird features, everything in the hotel room is exactly the same. And then you go out of the hotel and you get in a car and you drive to an event and you get out and you get up on stage and you talk to people and you go to a booth and you hang out in the booth and you talk to people and then you go back to the hotel and then you go back to the airport and those are all the same as well. So Yeah, I don't get to see
Sure,
anything
I'm
fun.
sure it's fun at times to travel. Like, if you had never been to a place before, you get that exhilaration, but you've already been to most places, so I can see it being annoying.
The only time, like the shitty thing is the only time it's exhilarating is when things are going like wildly not according to plan.
Oh, just send
Um,
me.
oh,
Oh,
it's
send
terrible.
me.
I don't even bother, dude. I literally, I don't even have a suitcase. I just have a backpack and all of my clothes. I have like four of the same shit, and it's just wadded up, all synthetics in the bottom of my backpack. It's yeah, it's not fun. Too long.
Yeah, teaspoon.
Who's that? No, I'm screen sharing. Oh yeah, I just bought your things.
I really appreciate you taking the time to say that, man. It means a lot, and the community is absolutely amazing. It's these people, I'm seeing a few people here. Yogesh, nice to see you. Dark Magic, drink your OJ. We've got, the nice thing about this is we have a beautifully blended community, and I think that the more projects that we get that are building real things, there's going to be a growing interconnected community of people who are supporting actual builders. And you guys are building. I remember the first day I met you guys, at that hackathon back forever ago, and I loved the idea, and it has just been absolutely beautiful to see it, again. Using all of these plant analogies here, to see it grow and blossom and spread its tendrils out, reaching towards the sun. I absolutely love it. So I'm delighted to be here with you guys to be part of this, and I'm very happy that what we're doing over at Datagram with the Datagram core substrate and all of that is helpful to you. I think in time we will work really well together.
Yeah, I agree. I think Datagram serves as a great way to ensure that your uptime is accounted for. Uh,
Yeah.
and this
Well,
way, our node operators have some sort of insurance.
it's not just that. I mean, it's how do I say this? I'm gonna say this, and it's not gonna be particularly delicate. Um, there's problems in this industry, and some of the problems that exist in this industry is that there is a overwhelming lack of transparency that comes into play and is uh, happens oftentimes in the places where you would think things would be the most transparent. Node operations is a great example of this. Most of these node networks are just reporting their uptime back to MongoDB, and that's it. And so if that database goes down, your node network goes down. You lose your uptime. All of this stuff happens because DeepIn is hard. And so people will have over centralization because there's a technical problem that they have a hard time solving for. And sometimes it's a technical problem that they may not want to solve for because that transparency would be sort of not in their best interests, if that makes sense. And so with us, with the Datagram core substrate and making this available for people, it's not providing only a backup of uptime so people can go and verify uptime. It's creating systems where you can validate which nodes are doing what work, okay, and award based on that too. So it's not just uptime, but it's like, okay, well, at least within Datagram, if you actually consume resources, or a node provides resources which are consumed by a user, then you know exactly what those resources were. This node earned, UDP, which then converted into Dgram. This node earned AI, which converted into Dgram. Understanding that at that granular level changes the way that ecosystems can be rewarded. Because what it enables you to do is it enables you to see on-chain demand for usage uh, dynamically. So okay, there's been because we're watching the chain, we know that this particular resource is being massively used more than this one, and so that resource that's in high demand should be rewarded somewhat more than others. Right now, it's a very level sort of playing field as we sort of, build things out because what's a good way to put it? Um, it there's like two analogy or two statements or idiomatic statements that make sense here. The first is one: if you want to hear God laugh, show him your plans. And if you want to see a community laugh, show them your predictions for usage and usage patterns. Um, because like what you think and what people actually do, very different. And then the other one is that anytime you try to solve something, anytime you try to idiot proof something, nature invents a new idiot. Those two things are kind of parallel to one another in this, and I'm the idiot in so many cases. So that's not pointed at anyone other than myself, because I will try to engineer something and make it perfect, and then realize that I completely missed the fucking point. So we go with something that's simple and we can iterate on and adjust as we go forward.
At base, a good foundation. That's where everything starts. So
Yep.
that's actually a good segue for me to just walk people through what we've got as our foundation here. So um, the whole purpose, what we see, the whole purpose of the blockchain, our use of the blockchain for our public information network, is so that people have self-custody over their assets, over their data, and so that the node network and the data that is provided can't be shut down. So this is part of the process that we're doing right now, where you could actually, like any node operator or anyone, even non-node operator, can become a node operator and join as a peer network in our peer network, in our mesh network. So what this means is when we have enough people, enough nodes operating in that mesh network, we could actually turn off of our original two nodes that are running as seeds and appear to get a central source of information from. So once we have enough nodes on the network, we can turn off that original source and put the entire infrastructure on the backs of the community. So this way, if there's any, I don't know, legal litigations or any problems that MetaFlora runs into or anything in that regard, and we would if we have to like shut down everything that we have, everything will still work exactly the same. So that's the power of decentralization, and that's why we've gone this route. So that, coupled with self-custody of assets, makes it so you can create not only NFTs and tokens, because a lot of the Web2 folks just see that as silly shit. Um, but let's say like you create a recipe, like this brownie recipe, and it gets a lot of hits on Google. Let's say it gets a lot of views, and we track all that. We track all the views that you get. There's a very complex, like how many seconds you're on the page, if you scrolled, how far down the page you are. You know, it measures your engagement level, and then the owner will, or the contributor and the owner of the article or recipe or whatever you committed would then get rewarded in the chain's token. Um, so we have a daily distribution logic that's working in the background where, based on those traffic points and those little data points that we track, we can reward the people who contribute the data. And this way, it's an incentive program where people feel like they can actually like make some money and contribute their data. And if they have access to like lab reports or if they have access to any kind of information, if they want, even if they are like a retailer and they want to like write an article about their own product, and then spread that article around, they can earn from multiple avenues on that. And the cool part about the Floor token is every Floor token that's distributed into the economy is on a buyback order, and it's based off of a revenue stream. So uh, MetaFlora, the company, wants to buy back the tokens that we emit to the community members at a flat rate. It's like half a penny per floor token is what we've decided on so far. Um, and we believe what this does is it incentivizes people and does this like this revenue share model that makes sense. Um, so we can actually incentivize people with like fiat, like stable currency backed uh, token. And that, that's basically the whole concept. If there's any questions or anything you guys are thinking about that you think is cool, let me actually look right here. Enterprise is on board too.
Yeah, I see one
I think
down here that's on par with what you were talking about. Is how can a casual cannabis user or home grower participate in the Metaflora ecosystem?
okay. So
So yeah, you want to take it or yeah,
yeah, I'll
okay,
take it. I'll take it.
sure.
So a home grower. We'll start with the home grower. Home grower can um, journal their process, and they could also create guides that other people can follow if they want to replicate the process. And then they could also get their grows tested, and then they could submit their lab reports so that they can back all of their data with um, with even more data. And we have a bunch of labs that we're associated with that we would probably encourage people to use. But we also are working on this other collab. This may be too early to mention, but there's this other product for scanning lab reports, like making your own labs at home, so you can scan it using this device that you would have. That's a potential for that. And then as a cannabis user, you'd go to like your nearest dispensary, you'd buy a product, and there's that little QR code where it shows the lab report, so you can view that information. What you do is you just go to the website, and here, let me just show you that. Now this is on desktop, so if I scan QR, yeah, it's just gonna pull up my own camera. But what this does in the background is it scans QR code, it pulls up either the PDF or a web page or whatever format it comes in. Then it breaks it down and feeds the data to AI, where it then can pull out the data and list it in a nice format like this, so that it's understandable, at least understandable. All of this stuff, all of these are going to be expandable with definitions like on the main platform site right now, so that you can see like what the significance of all of these data points are. And then this data is then converted into strain data. Let me go there. So that was a sour diesel one. So it's converted into strain data, so that you can see these impacts and these things that people are actually most concerned for. So usually when someone visits one of these websites, as they're not coming to submit lab reports, but they're coming to like look up what strain they got. Uh, However, it works double. You can earn at the same time as viewing the information that you want to view. So you can see the exact strain. So also something too. There's a way. So here, strain. So this pulls from my lab reports that I've committed in my profile, and I can actually preview a strain. Say it's just this one lab report that's public. I can actually preview the strain details based on just that one lab report. So if you wanted a batch specific strain report, you could actually do that too. And you could send, this is a specific link in the URL where you can send somebody like this specific lab report strain details. Um, so there's a lot of intricate things like that that make it cool for a user and useful for a user. Um, yeah, I think that covers that. What's the next one? How would we make sure strain
Can you check the
information
chat really quick?
Oh,
Yeah, it looks like everybody is muted.
No, there's one that's definitely not.
Hot Boy,
I,
Series D, that's that guy.
no, I muted them.
Oh, maybe it's only muted for you.
Hold on, then.
Dude is napping. I hope he's having a nice nap.
He's like, "Come on, whitelist."
Hey, it's not the most thrilling information. This is not
No,
not everybody jumps
it's
out of their
okay.
seat to hear this kind of shit.
It's okay. Hey, drink your OJ. Can you
You should hear my
we will
wife.
give him a whitelist. We'll definitely give him a whitelist. So can you just note that down, and we'll talk to Super Crunch about it.
Server mute. Yeah, I think that got rid of it, right?
There we go. There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
You got to go to more options,
Okay.
server mute.
My bad.
I'm gonna do that with Top Boy too, just because he's unmuted. But all right. So let's see. How we make sure the strain information and reviews are trustworthy. Well, the strain informations are based off of the lab reports, and then we can see what lab submitted it and if it's from a reputable source. And then what we also do, which I'll show you here, is lab. Let's go to a lab. What we also do is we take a hash of the data and we store that on chain, so that if the data is somehow altered off chain, or if it's altered somehow, if like the original file is changed, we can create a new hash of that, and then this displays that the origin has been altered. It's been modified. So that's how we can detect that, and that'll make the owner of the data Obviously, that'll make that less valuable because it's been changed, so it's not the original commitment that was made on chain. That's like really, this is extra work really because the on-chain stuff should actually make it so it's verified and can't be either replicated or changed. But just in case, I have that logic in the background there. Because like some people sometimes like if you commit an article and you publish it and then you edit it and you edit your article, we want to still be able to allow people to do that. In which case, that would make the original source change, so it'd be modified and people would be notified of that. Reviews, reviews, I guess we wouldn't know if it's trustworthy. The reviews are just person to person, so you can trust, what someone says about a review or not. If someone feels a certain way, it's probably different per person. Like if it just might have different effects for different people, and also different people have different ailments and things like that.
Yeah, I would say on that
Cool.
one that you know, as you're going around collecting this like these different data assets and logging more strains on chain. If I'm somebody who is constantly purchasing sour diesel, or I'm writing articles about that specific strain or something like that, I would hold more value than somebody else on that topic. You know, but as yeah, I think that that's the best way to do it is by reputation.
Repetition. Okay. And then so last one, what made you decide to build on GalaChain? Well, uh, we were Gala maxis, and we were sold on a certain vision of Gala. Gala was supposed to be year zero, uh, where well at least that was the new redirection and Bitbender trying to hold your tongue a little bit, I guess. Um, but that was a redirection that they were trying to take,
I
and
don't know what you're talking about.
they created a software development kit, um, so that a software development kit so that people can spin up their own channels uh, that have a dedicated node network, um, and that ended up not being the case. And then there's also limitations associated with that I guess weren't well communicated. One of which is like they don't have the logic built out so that third parties can bridge cross channel or bridge to Ethereum through asset channel to do such a thing, and you'd have to coordinate with them so that they have the right, curated access and whatever permissions and nonsense that they would need. It's a very much not a permissionless system. Um, so in the end, it just ended up not working for our case, and we had certain requirements. We built this whole system that, like a whole economy that we thought would work in GalaChain, and we weren't willing to settle for much less. So we had to pivot and build what we built. But I'm happy with it. I'm happy we went this direction. We have a lot more wiggle room, and we have a lot more sinks and burn incentives, and we can really push this to be a much larger thing.
Yeah, and
Um,
if I could add as well, I mean, if you guys check out I think it's our news channel. We work with a lot of Gala music artists. We have an artist profile over there as well. So we're still working alongside of the company where we can, and we branched out. We pride
so our liquidity
ourselves.
won't be there.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately our liquidity won't be there. Which we
Oh
we
no.
offered. We were trying to slay dragons for Gala. Really, we were trying to slay dragons. We wanted to put our entire company revenue stream Gala swap, and they were like, "Nah, we don't see the value." So
Yeah. So what I was going to say too is, we do pride ourselves in being omni-chain or chain agnostic or
agnostic.
interprobable, um, and that's one of the best parts of us being able to uh, grow and build utilizing the Cosmos SDK. It is Ethereum compatible. The IBC network. I mean, we're connected to over 200 layer one blockchains. We have access to tons of liquidity, and it's something that's really built to scale for the next wave of Web 3, which is mass adoption. And what mass adoption needs to see is they need to see open doors. They don't need to see something locked in. We don't need to cheer for a team. It's team same team around here, and that's what really Flora Chain really is all about, is scaling something towards a use case that really survives. And that's what we had in mind the entire time. And we thought we were able to do it, and it kind of prolonged our TGE event. But what's been created and what's being created is
The
far
token's gonna be
far
way stronger.
superior. Oh, it's not even
Yeah, our
close.
token's gonna
Not
be
even
so
close.
strong.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I'm also
Um,
contemplating
peop-
this concept of so if you want to be able to create tokens and NFTs on our chain, I wanna try and include Flora in that and make it so maybe the NFT collections have like uh locked assets behind them, so that if you were to like buy an NFT for, let's say it's $5, uh, and let's say the people who minted it put $1 behind each NFT. If you wanted to burn your NFT and get the dollar worth of Flora, you could. So I'm experimenting with those
that's
kind of
actually a
concepts.
really cool idea.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I was just thinking the same because
It's like
Nobody's
because
heard of this. It's all
I've
in my brain.
I've definitely been really drawn into some of these other platforms that do like LP pools paired to NFTs. So it's like swap pools where anything going in or out, you can gain traction
I
on
want some
the
insurance.
transaction fees. But this is a little bit.
The idea
Hmm.
is, yeah, we want insurance. I want insurance for the people
I
who
see.
buy assets, especially because like if it's on our chain and we support it, and it's on our marketplace, I don't want people to be making a bunch of shit collections. If there's a collection on there, the creator has to be serious and the buyer has to be insured. So that's how you do it.
the way that you could do that is just make it so it doesn't necessarily have to be the creator that puts that up, but you could just build it in as part of the sale logic. That
Mm.
essentially, it's kind of like when you buy a drink in a glass bottle, right? At least in parts of the United States and California. I don't know what it's like other places, but when you buy a glass bottle or a can, you essentially are paying a deposit fee, okay, to take that bottle, and then when you recycle that bottle, you get that deposit fee back. It would be
Mm.
essentially the same basic model. And if you set it up right, you could make it so that you could have an NFT collection that the actual value could never go below 20% of what people paid for it.
Oh
Which,
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
man, if I could get 20% of what I paid back for, any of the NFT collections that I was part of in the last cycle, that would count as a gigantic win. Instead of, selling
Yeah, yeah.
selling
Yeah,
things that
that's
I
a
bought for
I think it'll spark.
yeah, that's
three
like
But
thousand
everybody in
dollar
the room.
NFT for $30. Yeah, exactly. And we're all in the same fucking shitty boat there.
yeah, I think the whole point of all this this approach at least is so that we can have like a trustless value exchange. Like that's what people need. That's what this whole thing is supposed to be. The whole blockchain is supposed to signify that. It's supposed to be trustless, permissionless, and a way to transact value. So if we can put that all together, then that's that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I love it.
cool. I like it. I'm glad that you dig the idea. I just thought
No,
of it like
I think
maybe a
it's cool.
week ago, and I was like, I gotta get to it. So I've been building towards it.
Yeah, no, build that out. I think that if you set it up as a and this is one of the things, this is what we've done at Datagram with the Datagram core substrate, right? Is you build out a concept and you simply make that concept available for other people to use. That's how we make this industry better. We don't do stuff and sort of keep it, locked up. We do stuff and make it available and accessible to everyone else. Share the ideas so we can build on top of what one another is doing instead of alongside.
Mm.
Exactly. That's why we're here today too. We have that tooling available for us. It's once you experience it as a builder, it's contagious. You want to continue you want to continue building those tracks. Um, Innovation is key, and having things locked behind closed doors over massive paywalls of intellectual property. It makes it very, very difficult for people to create these startups of the more grandeur visions, and it's really accelerated at least our progress, like tenfold. But I have a question before we go into the chat. The if we were to put a backing on that where it's burnable to redeem, um, does that come from the Flora chain side, or are you imagining it being from the creator side? Like there's a creator fee of some sort, or that's something that
I'm thinking
um,
maybe,
yeah.
maybe I'm thinking now that Jason chimed in, I'm thinking what would be great is if we incorporate into the marketplace contract. So if you list your token for sale and you're the creator, uh, and this therefore it's never left that creator's wallet yet,
Hmm.
then the listing would have you like lock percentage of your sale price.
Hmm. Cool. Let's see what else we got in here. He says, Jinky OJ, he says, I'm excited to start submitting some lab reports. Is this linked from your main site or is it not public yet? So it's not public yet. Jesse gave me a walkthrough on how this is done. The tech is all kind of implemented already, and will be a part of our mainnet launch.
Yeah,
Um,
technically the testnet is live and there's a live gateway
oh,
and
right.
all the nodes and all that network stuff that you saw. Technically it's live. We're just doing some internal feedback with the node operators and the that feedback and those steps that we have set. Uh, we're just going to build it out to a point and then blast it out to the public so that everybody can get involved.
Mhm. Another questions here is, are you partnered with any cannabis brands we might know? Uh, I would be stay inside this Discord as we
It's
approach
recorded.
our
It's
mainnet
recorded.
launch. Uh, yeah, be sure to keep your eyes on there. We have a lot of big things in the works here.
Oh, I thought you were going
That's
to leak something.
not yet, not yet. Just keep paying attention over here because we are moving extremely fast. Right now, it's I think that we are
If you guys know
very
anybody's and have connections, connect us too, and maybe we
oh,
could get them on Beyond the Haze and
100%.
stuff. You know, get them some exposure.
Yeah, and on top of that, what Jesse is saying, I mean, guys, we are a global influence. Okay, I'm from California. He's from the East Coast. I'm living in Europe. I got connections on connections. So does Jesse. But the fact is that our nodes are, we're in over 20 something countries right now, and the passion runs deep through all of us. This is a network of opportunity here. So if you know people that are in the industry, if you're repeat customers somewhere, if you see value in what we bring to the table, if you want to establish a connoisseurship that rivals the industry of wine, we need your connections as well. This isn't just going to be taking off because you know X, Y, or Z company comes in and adopts our technology. This is something it should be a household name. Should be a staple in the industry, and that's my motivation. That's what I work on a daily basis, and that's what's going to make this project actually succeed. It's community. And that's why we bridge the gap from industry to consumer. There is no voice that echoes to the industry from the consumer. And this is consumer first. If the consumer has a demand for something, the industry must recognize it. And yes, I'm dealing with industry on a daily basis, and everybody that I talk to, they understand the need for this because there's a huge problem in recreational, medicinal, and the new legal spheres that are opening up all across the world. So the time to get in is now. and set that precedent. Make sure that your company is better than the rest, and this is the way that we do it. If you have something that you see as a problem in the industry that needs to be implemented, Jesse and I are always here. We listen wholeheartedly, and we if it's a good idea, we will implement it. Um, so yeah, as far as dropping names today, just check back very soon, and you're gonna see the power of MetaFlora coming at you. We're working super hard on all that.
Hey, Jason, you go downstairs get that beer yet? Oh, muted. Might be on the move. All right, well, I'm rolling the joint. One of
Okay,
those days.
sorry. I had to go find Discord again. No, I have not gone downstairs. I will when this is done.
Damn.
We got one here. Can I buy or mint a Node NFT? Yes. We have our current sale that's still in our pre-sale environment. This is like the closest you guys are going to get to TGE without going over. Um, our nodes are earning seed right now. The uptime, you can connect today. You can go on. I see Jesse Gingerbread Man just dropped the link in the chat there. It comes with a 5% booster NFT. So all of your daily rewards for the time that you are running those nodes, you're going to get 5% extra on a daily basis. Every node has 3 slots that you can pair boosters to. Those boosters are also tradable on a secondary market. So if anybody's trying to offload any of those boosters, you can collect them. The first round, if I have any legacy node owners out there, they have a 10% out there. There's a 2.5% from a platinum booster that was released for a week's period of time, and you'll be able to stack these rewards inside of those slots as well. So if you guys want to get off on the right foot, this is a combo purchase that you can get your node license today. You can get that 5% booster NFT as well in a claimable fashion, and that's
Is the
all
Nerd Node
available under
promotion
that link.
still up?
Huh?
Is the Nerd Node promotion still up?
The Nerd Node promotion?
Or
Um,
the hosting promotion that we had? That's still up?
yeah, that's still up.
Oh, cool.
So that's one
It's like
month
one
free.
fifty
Yeah,
a
that's
month?
1 month free hosting with Nerd Node. Every connoisseur node. If you the the bundle with Deep Network has that one has sunsetted. Let's see. Yeah, let's any more questions? Let's wrap in some more questions here. If y'all got them, drop them. Spencer still in the chat? Yeah, there's Spencer down there. What's happening, Spencer? Glad you made it,
Yo,
When,
hey, how you doing?
man.
oh,
Yeah, we've been. Yeah, Spencer's another one of. We were talking a little bit earlier about our music platform. MetaFlora is, like I said, it's community first. It's this echo from the connoisseur, the to the industry members, and this industry is all about culture, and it starts off as your daily smokers, but all inspired by it, music and art. You're gonna see a lot more coming out of Metaflora that's along the lines of this cultural influence as well. He's got tracks with us. Me and him were actually just talking this morning about a new track that he had put together for Metaflora as well. We have another track actually that I just dropped down today from Jar, and called Prayer. and yeah, we're really expanding in this atmosphere as well. So our NFT marketplace, um, and the areas that we're building outwards, from that cut and dry lab reports and articles and guides. I mean, this is all great, but the people who want to pay attention to this need to be entertained. I mean, this is the entire sphere of a connoisseurship, and it involves music, and it involves art. And so, all of this creation is meant for a purpose, and is meant to build community. So shout out to you down there. He was the pioneer. Always love to see you down there, brother.
Yeah, and I also feel like it's worth mentioning. This we're not going anywhere. Greg and I, this is a passion project for us. We we have gone without pay for God many months, and we don't care. Like all the sales that that we're making from the day from this day or even weeks or months ago forwards, we want to roll it all over into the token generation event, and that's forever. So all of our revenue stream we want to roll through the token, and then this way we can pay we can make payroll through the token and just roll over all our US dollar into it and only pay employees, how much they're supposed to be paid. And this way it's all on chain, transparent, that's how it's supposed to be done. So that's how we're doing it.
Yeah, that's right. Um, there's yeah, there's no stopping us from here. The only thing that matters, by our standards, is success. And I truly believe that the project that we have built was all solution oriented. And the only way that I see success is becoming a household name, conquering an industry that I truly love. It's hit home to me on so many aspects. It's made me who I am. I've helped a lot of people on the medical side of things, and seeing the stigmas around the plant just kind of, it gives me that passion and the mission,
Yeah,
and
and
behind
so this is
everything.
a starting point also. This is a great starting point. This is where we build the community around cannabis and around that kind of vibe and that kind of community. However, the solutions that we built are actually scalable and usable for nearly every agriculture. Um, so we do want to expand to like mushrooms and other kinds of herbs and teas and all that kind of stuff. So that's eventual, though. But this is just for like we're starting at cannabis just because it's easier to grow community, and it's kind of the main purpose of why we're here. But
Yeah,
our
I'll
our
build on
solution
that.
does.
Yeah, I'll build on that too. With recreational cannabis, moving past medicinal and kind of going global, I saw it especially in California, where they put very high stringent requirements on becoming legal that no other agricultural product in the entire world has to go through. So, first of all, that means that we're setting a new precedent, a new standard in agricultural endeavors, that we're looking at environmental concerns, and I mean, it's a lot like real estate. Like, you have to get all these permits, you have to build things the correct way. Crypto Lion, he can tell you a lot more about that. But it's all about building a industry that has a foundation that is supposed to last for generations. It builds value in your county. It builds value in your town. It builds value in your state. Um, and so this is like you said, if we were to expand to other industries, where would you start first? You would start on the most strict industry that there possibly is, the one that has the largest community focus around it, the most up and coming. I mean, we are completely trumping the entire alcohol industry. The new generation, Gen Z, is quitting alcohol and they're turning to cannabis. They're turning to even CBD drinks. And this is like I mean, this is like the quiet revolution that's been echoing for decades, right? And now, I mean, I even have a question too. It's it's like how do we branch out from our core here? Because I have so many people knocking on my door. Spencer and I have been talking even too, with distributors out in Africa as well, in other agricultural endeavors. And it's like, well, how do I bring on these different commodities? Like we deal in these different commodity industries, from avocados to sugars to nuts, and it's like, well, is this a solution that we can also provide here? And my whole thought process too was like, okay, well, if I were to roll this out by myself, I would be looking at ingredients of health and wellness. I would say, okay, I want black turmeric, I want reishi mushrooms, I want anything that's an ingredient that is also paired to CBD products. Because if you go to that store and you're offering yourself, this chocolate bar that has all these XYZ ingredients inside of it, those things should be on chain as well. But at the same time, once you create the beast, once you create the machine, everybody wants in on it. And I think that Jesse's kind of at the forefront of this, is being able to offer that door and open it up, so people can actually use the technology in order to create a verifiable, transparent ecosystem for nearly any product, right?
Yeah. I'd love to expand to like shrooms, coffee, tea. Tea would be awesome. Tea and coffee would be amazing.
Yeah, and right, and those two industries I'm talking to, but is it really necessary for us to even have any sort of gated entry? Like, does somebody have to talk to
Oh
Tripto or
no,
talk to
no.
Gingerbread Man?
Technically, yo, no. Technically, someone can. I can re-screen share, but I won't just because it'll take a while. But literally, like somebody could just go in and use my vector smart contract, reinstate it as their own because it's all uploaded and I have that all in the dev tools. You can reinstate the vector contract as their own, and then they can just create tables and start inserting rows. So they can do it for anything.
Now that's what I'm talking about. And
Well, that
that's
is
like, yeah,
full permissionless. Yeah, yeah.
that is the most important part about what we are building too. It's this permissionless. Look, I found a solution. It doesn't relate to me yet, but I want to be an innovator. I want to be a pioneer. How do I get
The
this
one
thing on
stop.
chain?
It's a one-stop shop DPIN. It's a one-stop shop DPIN for every single kind of market out there. And then it also includes the marketplace contract that merges tokens, NFTs, and data objects into the same marketplace, so you can transact between them fluently. Um, also, so like I'm making it so you can, well, you already can create ERC2 tokens, but I'm making it so those tokens are usable as your purchase. So like, since I'm backing the tokens, and then you can't just make tokens out of nowhere, I'm gonna make it all back behind Floro. That means we can make it so people can create their own ecosystems of their token for their products. Say they wanted to have, I don't know, just like they want to create an NFT collection and create their own token for it, or maybe they're a retailer and they want to sell a bunch of products, but they want to sell it in their token. They could actually do something like that. And it's all fluent in one system, and it's for every. It could work for every industry. Obviously, our website portion of it um, will show our targeted stuff, like the cannabis related stuff, until we expand to other things. But the like I said, the gateway is live, the peer network is live, the entire network's live. So anyone can just create their own UI and attach to it, and create a system that's very similar to ours, but for a totally different purpose.
That's what's up. We have another one here about the requirements for the connoisseur node. Did LFG just make these requirements a little bit less recently? Is that right?
They made their requirements a little more efficient. I think they might be slightly more than our current requirements. Just because we're going to be doing a lot more. We're going to be supporting the testnet, and we're going to be pinging Datagram. Well, not pinging, but we're going to be tracking node uptime on Datagram. I also want to. I mean, I've also wanted to talk with LFG. I mentioned it in like a week or two ago. I was wondering if they can do that as an optional service.
Like a
That
toggle.
then yeah, so then people, if they want the insurance on their node running, so that they have tracked uptime on chain immutably, they could do that, and they can also earn a little extra, earn some dgram or something for doing so, or
Yeah, that
or they can not, and then they could just run the MetaFlora testnet. But we'll see how that works out with them. I don't know if that's how it's built out yet.
Yeah, that would be an interesting conversation to have because I'm actually going to be having another AMA on Friday with Circular Protocol. And in the beginning of this conversation, we talked about regulatory environments and that sort of thing. And this all kind of relates to our partnership with Circular as
Yeah.
well. And that's another one of those options of like toggling in to our node that will be running for them. We're like one of 5 nodes that's going to be running Circular Protocol as well. So that's like a really huge deal.
Yeah.
And you guys can find out a lot more on Friday on that space as well. You'll see in the announcements here. I actually we were just setting it up this morning, so and I just got confirmation on the date and time. But yeah, I would love to see you all come back and hear a lot more
Yeah,
about what we're doing in the DeSci space.
Yeah, Circular is really amazing. Yeah, I'm so glad we linked up with them. That's going to be so cool. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'll follow up with you too after this AMA as well, and
Yeah, please do.
yeah, because
I'm
there's
usually in my
some
guys. I'm
headline
usually in my own world, and I have my task, and I try not to, you know, go too much. So Greg keeps me out of like all the new things he's working on until they're tangible for me to work in. Yeah, just to be candid about all that. So, and the
Yeah, I
same thing
mean, I
goes for
was
him.
actually going to mention it too. I'm like, no, we got
Yeah,
a
dude,
good
there's a
teamwork
lot of
session
times
going
actually,
on
too.
here. It's head down, shoulders to the grindstone. Let's take care of business and meet back
We
up and
touch base.
report on what's going on here.
It's
We're
working well, yeah. And
yeah, we crush.
there's also times where like I would build something out and then I would say it, and then you'd be like hearing it for the first time, just like everybody else.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
It's normally those things
So
that are the aha.
we got a cool system. We got a cool system. I view it as like my clients are the node operators. So like, sorry, Greg, I know you're the owner of the company and all, but
This is a decentralized company, my man. I love it. I
how we roll. That's
absolutely
how we
love
gotta
it.
roll. I'm
That's why
so
I got
glad we
into
did
this
it.
whole thing. I've never
I'm so
seen a
glad
business
we did
run like this before, and until the projects that I had gotten into prior to starting it, I was building this business plan for about six. It's been about 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago, it came into fruition. I knew that this was what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure I built something correctly. I took notes on what was happening that was correct. I knew that I was at the captain that was steering the ship, and I knew what it all entailed. And that's the business that I wanted to create. This is the business that I wanted to be in front of. Um, so yeah, man, there's no skin off my back at all. I mean, this is what it's all about. I love decentralization, absolutely.
What's up, Candy? You got a question? He seems busy. All right, I'm gonna mute you. Just ping in the chat if you need to ask something. Yeah, but I think we're just chilling at this point.
Yeah,
Feel
we
free to
gotta
stick
wait.
around. I'm gonna smoke this joint. If anyone's got any questions, let me know.
We need Jason back up in the room. I think he went
Was there a Datagram
downstairs.
question?
No, I
Oh,
mean,
right.
unless this is
Oh, I think he's gone for good.
okay. So he's just gonna take a list here.
Yeah,
If
he said in chat. Yeah, he said in chat here, gotta drop off, guys, but I took a screenshot of the attendees and I'll give them all a whitelist spot if they're in the Datagram Discord in the next 24 hours. So I posted a link underneath that for the Datagram Discord. So if you want a whitelist for the Datagram node, yeah, go in there. And yeah, if you're interested in Datagram stuff, just to be an overall of what I see Datagram as doing, um, it it's it tracks your node uptime and keeps it on chain. Obviously, I'm gonna butcher it, but it tracks your node uptime and keeps it on chain so that you can reference it and anybody can reference it in a public immutable ledger, so that whenever your node is on, every minute that it's just like a checkup to a health check, it logs that so that you know for certainty your specs on your machine and how much like the data contributed and if you're online in an efficient way, like if you're meeting the requirements. Uh, this way you can have a point system that is insured. So like currently, if you don't use that, the point system is held off chain. It's held in like a database, and then we can distribute, tokens in that manner using that data off chain. But if there was some sort of problem with like AWS or depending on where you're hosting the servers and your database, then there could be times where that's offline and you go to pull that data and do a distribution and you can't. And now, obviously we build in a decentralized future so that in a future, if there is like a major upset where there's huge amounts of server farms that go offline and large portions of the internet are offline, and at least our customers and shareholders and such could actually do this, use the system and not be fucked over in that manner. So
Yeah, one of the things that
it's
resonated
you guys
well
like
with
that.
me
That's the whole purpose. Yeah,
was
that's the
the
whole
fact
purpose
that
of
Jason was even saying earlier about like I know who's got uptime, who's actually contributing to the platform even more, and it's just like what we kind of built, where that there's that gap of like who's doing what, who's doing it most often, and you can actually pinpoint the people that are supporting you the most, right? And maybe grant some additional rewards here and there, or create these whitelists, or an airdrop situation. Um,
yeah.
but
We got a
with
question. We got a question.
yeah, okay,
Yeah, I feel like just in case, I'm just gonna hop on it so I'm not messing with anybody's time. So token generation event. So you're in the node owner chat. So we've been talking in there about what the next tasks are. So I guess we can. I mean, if you have an opinion on if we should remove some of the tasks or make a priority list of what we can do, what we should have as a minimum viable product before token generation event, we can have that conversation in the node owner chat. But the token generation event, we plan to have it after the testnet is audited and successful with um, user feedback and things like that. As it is
yes,
the native token that's underneath it all. So it's the gas token. It's we can't do like a separate token generation event on Ethereum and migrate later. That would be a disaster.
yeah. So if you want it to happen sooner, get everybody into that node owner chat, and let's get some feedback. Let's build this thing correct right off the bat.
Yeah, yeah. Feel
Love
free to
hearing
be like, we
feedback.
don't need this, that. Yeah, feel free to be like, we don't need this. Only, only fix this, and then audit the smart contracts and launch this bitch. Just let us know. Don't hold back. We're trying to make a good product. We want to make a token that lasts forever for you guys. We don't want to rush to it and then have it be this fleeting high that's gone, and it's like this fleeting financial stability that I don't know, everybody gets all upset about. It's like it's this problem that all crypto has. It's all these tokens, they start flashy and they start big and they try and reach a lot of people and then everybody's fucked. So we don't want that. We don't want that. So we're trying to do our best, and you guys are very much part of that variable. So you guys have been around the game. You guys have seen all the tokens. You've seen what works, what doesn't. So chime in. You guys are experts just as much as we are. I'm just the guy that makes it, like codes it together.
100%, guys. Teamwork
Yeah,
makes
I'm
the
no, I'm
dream
no
work.
economist, but hear my ideas and the things that we've said about the tokenomics and how they work, and let's take it from there and just make it good.
Yeah.
So when would be after the testnet and the smart contracts are audited, which is after feedback, and we're getting through that right now. So I couldn't see that lasting in July, August. I can't see that lasting like more than a month. So August for feedback stuff and revisions for feedback. Can't see that lasting longer than a month, but that depends. If somebody comes in last minute with like a, hey, there's this major problem, obviously that's gonna delay shit a little bit, but
in a good way. All right. I
yeah, in a good
mean,
way, because
we could have done that. We could have done TG such a long time ago, and it would have been completely detrimental. We want to be prepared. We want to be ready, and we're going to come
it
out with
would have
all our
been like
guns
a,
firing. You know.
yeah, it would have been like a. I mean, I love Magneto HR and everything, but
Yeah.
it would have been like one of those situations. Like they didn't have the utility, they didn't have the full. If they have staking and stuff, but they didn't have the full. Um,
Yeah, some
kind of
companies make it
have
to
all the thing,
for as a
all the.
fundraising mechanism, and we're looking
Yeah, well,
at
we're reversing it. We're
right.
reversing it. We're
That's right.
taking our revenue, we're pumping it into it.
Right. That's right.
We don't want it to be some, yeah, some money grab.
Yeah.
We've had too much of that. There's too much of that.
Yeah. Let's build differently. Let's build to scale, and let's future-proof this. Thank you all the connoisseur node owners that are in the chat. Thank you to Datagram community for showing up today. If you guys have any more questions, now's the time. Feel free to hang out in general. We would love it for you guys to jump on our website there, join us as node owners, start collecting that pre TGE seed. It all converts over to Flora. We're gonna make this launch as big as freaking possible, guys. We're all looking out for the best here. Um, and if that's all, thank you all for showing up. And yeah, I'll be in the chats here for the next hour or so, taking any extra questions. But thank you guys. Take care. Peace.
All right. Bye.